Greetings, welcome to my channel, my Lioness journey. I am the lovely Lioness, Nichelle. So, in my opinion, narcissistic abuse is something that has been occurring since forever, the beginning of time. And I believe that this topic has become more popular in conversations and is trending because of our ability to communicate with each other on social media. Prior to social media, unless it was your neighbor or a close family member, you really didn't have those outlets available to be able to get information about this type of abuse, or to be able to reach out to someone, get a number online to seek help or shelter or anything like that. So I don't believe narcissistic, like the topic about narcissistic abuse, is something that is new. I feel like it's been going on forever. But thankfully, because of social media outlets, we're able to find forums and groups and chat rooms. We're able to reach out to each other and research this information to become educated on this topic, to be able to identify if we are individually or if someone that we know is experiencing narcissistic abuse. For myself, I later on in life discovered that I experienced narcissistic abuse as a child. I experienced different forms of abuse as a child. But I also experienced narcissistic abuse in a marriage. Now, clinical professionals says that it takes a victim 7 attempts, so this is on average 7 attempts to leave a narcissistic abusive relationship. And I could personally attest for that. I did not try to leave my narcissistic abusive situation physically, but it was more of a mental thing. Like, I would have the strength and know that I need to leave and know that I need to get out, and then I'll get sucked back in, because any type of form of abuse, and again, this is my opinion, it's like being in a cult. These people get in your mind, and if you already have low self-esteem, or if you're not loving yourself, or you've been through abuse, or fill in the blank, they know how to get in, manipulate, use fear tactics, whatever they have to do to keep you in that situation and keep you afraid. So unfortunately for some women, they just stay because they don't know that they deserve, well, they don't believe that they deserve something better, or they're terrified based upon what was told to them by the aggressor, the person, the abuser, the person that's abusing them. They may be terrified to leave based off of the threats. They don't know how they're going to make it without that abuser. Some victims already feel defeated before they could even try to devise a plan or come up with a way to get out of their situations. And because of that, they'll stay. But then there's situations where a victim feel like they've had enough, they've seen enough, they experienced enough, and they're tired and they want to get out. And they're in that process of that average of 7 attempts of getting out of there, and they may be at that final attempt. They have the strength mentally, and they're ready to go, but circumstances are keeping them there. And one of the circumstances would be financial. For myself, that was the reason why, well, outside of many other reasons, but when I finally got to that point where I was like, enough is enough, I need to get out of here, financially, it was a challenge for me, because I was financially dependent on my husband, who was the narcissist. I was working and I was told to stop working, which was a form of control and led me to become financially dependent on him. And so I wrote a book inspired by that. I was inspired to write a book on helping other victims, and I'm going to say women, who are ready to get out of their narcissistic abusive relationship, but for whatever reason you feel stuck. You feel stuck because financially you're dependent on your spouse, or your income alone, you feel like it's not sustainable to be able to take care of yourself, or if you have children, yourself and your children. I wrote a book, and my book is on Amazon, and it is called How to Leave a Narcissistic Abusive Relationship with Little Money, My Story and Personal Suggestions. I wrote this book because before I could get here, I had to work with the thoughts, the fears, everything that was holding me back in here and in here, and pointing to my heart, everything that was holding me back, to be able to get to the point to now, how do I move forward with finding the resources to be able to get out. And so again, my book is available on Amazon.com in both the Kindle and the paperback version. And in my book, I share personal stories, and I don't just go straight to, well, this is how you would go about building or finding resources, but helping you from beginning all the way to the end. And I do realize that all of our situations are not equal or 100% the same, but I wrote this book to be able to show you all, to share with you all, to say that I am a real person. I was in that situation. I was married altogether, when you include the separation, all the way up to the divorce, for 14 and a half years. I experienced some physical, verbal, emotional, psychological, I feel like all of them, and financial abuse. And when you're in situations like that and you feel like you cannot get out, then it affects your mental health, and it affects your ability to be the best version of yourself. And if you're a parent, to be the most effective parent that you could be to your child or your children. And so I wrote this book so that you could see, as I'm giving you all my suggestions and tips and things that I did along the way, I'm also vulnerable, and I share with you all things that I experienced, ways that I felt, even some which you may call a setback, but wasn't really a setback. But you know, like, I had this setback, but I learned from it, and this is what I did, and this is what I would suggest for you to do or not to do. So again, you can find my book on Amazon.com in the Kindle version, which is less than $10, in the paperback, which is less than $20. So if you're at the point in your life where you are ready to leave the narcissist, and you feel like you have the strength but you do not have the resources, go to Amazon.com and pick up this book. I also have other videos on my channel speaking about different topics that will be able to help you along the way. And of course, there are many other beautiful content creators that speak about this subject. Some of them are clinical. I'm not clinical. And then some of them are just like me. They've been through something, and they're speaking from their point of view or perspective, what they have been through, what worked for them, and just passing on the knowledge and the information. I hope you found today's video helpful, and feel free to stop by anytime. Give this video a thumbs up, and also a link for this book is in my about page, but you'll also see the link down below in the description box. If you just scroll below, you'll see the link to the book. Again, I thank you all for coming by. Remember that you are worthy, you are special, you are worthy of love, you are worthy of freedom, and you do not deserve to be a punching bag, a dumping post, physically or mentally. You deserve the best that is there waiting for you. believe that so that way you could receive that. Thanks again for stopping by. Many blessings to you all. Bye-bye for now.